Hi, today we're going to take a look at subtracting integers. So we're still dealing with our operations with integers, but today we're going to focus on subtraction. Now the rule we have for subtraction is not a nice little song that we can sing like we had with addition. However, it's pretty simple. It is to leave, change, opposite. Some people call this LCO. Some people think we're crazy and we say it's LOCO, but it's leave, change, opposite. Now we color coded this for you today to help you identify the numbers that we're talking about each time. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back off. Let's go back to our pen. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and look at the first example. So the first example says 4 minus 10. Now, according to our rule, we're going to leave. So we leave the first number alone. 4 stays 4. Change. We're going to change from subtraction to addition. It is always subtraction to addition. And then opposite means whatever number is here, in this case we have a positive 10, becomes the opposite, and the opposite will become negative 10. Now when this happens, we now have an addition problem. So if this was an addition problem, we would actually go back up to our earlier rules of same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract. Use the sign of the bigger number and you'll be exact. So in this case, you've guessed it, it is different numbers. So we have a positive 4 and a negative 10. So we're going to subtract these. So 10 minus 4 becomes a 6. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 6 down because I want to keep track of that. Whoops, that's a really bad 6. There we go. And from there, we want to use the sign of the bigger number. Since 10 is bigger than 4, we're going to go ahead and use the negative sign. There we go, made that a little thicker. So we have a negative 6. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to take a look at some examples. So again, we're dealing with LOCO. All right, so leave, change, opposite. And here's our examples down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and look at the first one, 3 minus 8. So we're going to leave it, write the 3. Oops, there we go. Change subtraction to addition. And the opposite of 8 is now negative 8. So we're going to follow our rule, where we have to take the different signs, negative and a positive, and we're going to add those together. So we have a positive 3 and a negative 8. We're going to add. So that tells us to subtract the two numbers. 8 minus 3 is 5, and it's bigger with the negative, so it becomes a negative 5. So we're going to just put a negative 5 here, if that works for you guys. Now, on our second problem, we're going to come over here, and we have a negative 3 minus 12. Now, if I'm going to write this out, we leave, change, and the opposite of positive 12 is going to be a negative 12. Now, the neat part about this is that it follows our same sign rule because they're both negatives. Negative 3 and negative 12, same sign, add them together. 3 plus 12 is 15, and we get 15, and now we want to keep the sign, so it's negative 15. So that's one of those nice little ideas where we can keep the same sign. If we scroll down a little bit more, we're going to have two more problems. So here we have negative 4, so we're leaving it, minus 9, so we're going to change that to add negative 9. Negative 4 plus negative 9, same sign, add and keep. So we get 13, keep the sign, negative 13. On the right-hand side, we have a negative 7 minus negative 2. Now, this is a little bit different. So what's going to happen here is we're going to follow our same rules. So it's leave, change. Now, the opposite of negative 2 is positive 2. So now we're back to those different signs. We're going to subtract. So 7 minus 2 is 5. Use the sign of the bigger number. 7 is bigger than 2, so it's a negative 5. So once again, I just want to point out to you guys that the rule here is to leave, change, opposite. In other words, leave the first number, change the subtraction to addition, use the opposite of the second number. But then you have to go back to your addition rules. Same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract, use the sign of the bigger number, and you'll be exact.